So, I'm recording finally. I haven't recorded in a while, which is what I said in the video I posted last week or earlier this week, I think it was. But I have been trying to adjust to the new life, the new everything. So, little recap. This video will basically be a continuation of the last one, and I will get more detailed about what happened and what I've been doing, because today I am 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm 3 weeks out, and it feels good, and I'm excited, and proud of myself. I'm doing pretty good. Today is the 27th. I had my surgery on the 6th of March. So today literally makes 3 weeks that I had my surgery. My weigh-in days are normally Wednesday, so tomorrow I will weigh myself. But I did weigh myself just so I could give you guys an accurate number for what I'm weighing. We'll get into that later. So basically, this will be a continuation of my last video and telling you guys what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to try to make this short and not make it too long and too busy, but I'm going to try to be as informative and interesting as I can. Okay, so I think where I had left off, that I had told you guys that basically the medication I was given, I had a bad reaction to it, and it was the Vicodin, which I forgot. I forgot from the last time I had surgery that about 2 years ago that I had a bad reaction to the Vicodin. My friend remembered, and the doctor then called me and tramadol. So when I came home on Thursday, the 8th, I came home a day later because, one, there was a snowstorm the day after my surgery. And my husband wasn't able to come get me and all. Like, I wouldn't want him to drive and all of that. And then the other thing was, I also was severely nauseous. Like, I had really bad nausea. So I wasn't taking it in as much fluids as they wanted me to. So the snowstorm coming, delayed my leaving, which helped and turned out to be pretty good, because I also had the issue with the nausea. So I got released the next day on Thursday. My husband picked me up. He brought me home. Like, I was fine. I had like some pain. My stomach was sensitive to touch from the swelling, which my stomach was still pretty swollen. And then I was filled with so many fluids from being on the IV and everything. And so I was fine. And later on, like late that afternoon, it was time for me to take my medication because I was having pain. So it was time for me to take my pain medication. And as soon as I took the nausea and the pain medication, that was it. I was vomiting all over the place. I was shaking. My vomiting was violent, and I was myself as I was vomiting. And once that happened to me, I don't know how I didn't remember right away that, the Vicodin was the issue. So, that Thursday, a few hours later, Rissa took me to the ER. They checked me, they ran tests, did blood work and everything. Everything looked fine. So basically, they regulated my blood pressure, which was up a little bit. And then I sat there for hours. They regulated my pain. The nausea had subsided. They had given me nausea medication, which was, I think, Reglan. No, not Reglan, Zofran. Sorry, they gave me Zofran. And that helped. So then I came home Thursday night. I got home at a little after midnight or at midnight. And I was fine. I think when I came home, I had got a bottle of water, and then I just started sipping it. And then I laid down and I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning and started my routine. And taking fluids, and the nausea is just killing me. I'm sitting up. I got my head on the table because the nausea was so bad. So at this point, I'm like, okay. I didn't realize yet still that it was the Vicodin. So I'm like, okay, I'm in pain. It's time for me to take, I took the nausea medication. And then later, a few hours later in the afternoon, I had took the tramadol. So then the Vicodin. So then my girlfriend comes over and she's like, what's going on? What's wrong? And I think it might have been about maybe 6:30 in the evening by this time. I had been in agony all day long because I couldn't keep anything down. And then what would happen was once I would get something down, I didn't want to vomit because anybody knows vomiting it's annoying, it's painful, your stomach get tied in knots, and it's just uncomfortable. And because I was also urinating on myself because it was so bad, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do it. So I was trying my best to hold in everything. And try to keep my fluids that I was taking in, because at this time I was still on clear liquids, trying to, keep everything down. So I would lay down, and I would try to go to sleep, but I couldn't. I would, I just couldn't get comfortable. I think I probably would sleep for like a little bit, then I would wake up and just be, and then moaning and whatever. And when my girlfriend came over about 6:30, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm not feeling good." I like had the shakes. When I would sit up, I felt dizzy. And she's like, "Have you been sipping?" And I said, "I think it's been about 2 hours." And when she came, I felt like I had just fallen asleep, but I think I probably had been asleep for maybe an hour and a half. But I would be waking up off and on the time that I slept. So she called my doctor. And then she was talking to her sister, and her sister was like, "She can't take Vicodin." So like she remembered, thank God. And so then the doctor called in the tramadol, and the tramadol got picked up the next morning, which would have been Saturday. So now I am 1 day post-op at home. I'm going on 2 days, and Saturday comes, Saturday morning, and I take the tramadol probably maybe about between 11 and 12:30. I take it, and then it's like nothing's better. I'm still vomiting. I still got the shakes. I still can't keep anything down. The nausea is still real bad. So then I slept. I ended up sleeping. The medication, I fell asleep. And then what ended up happening was Rissa left, because Rissa came over that morning. She left. She was watching me. She left. And then my sister came over to see me because I think she had been out here for some reason or the other. So she came to see me on that Saturday. I think right after Rissa left, she came maybe a half an hour later. And then what happened after that? So then she came, and then I was sitting up talking to her. I was drinking my fluids, and it was time for me to, eat. So I think I had yogurt or something like that. I think I might have had. But nevertheless, while she was here, I'm doing the same thing, vomiting and everything. And then I sat back on the couch, and I felt like my chest getting tight, and I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I was having trouble breathing, and I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was just a mess. So I told her, I was like, I want to go back to emergency room. Like something's not right. I need to go to the ER. So she takes me or whatever, because she actually lives right around the corner from the emergency room. Like, well, not around the corner, but she was like 15 minutes from there. She takes me back, and she's like, "Oh, it's just gas. It's just gas." And because of the state that I was in, I really couldn't express myself the way I wanted to. I mean, I could talk clearly. I couldn't talk loud. I couldn't talk aggressively. I just, was like, I'm having a hard time breathing. My chest is tight. And she was like, "It's just gas." I had already experienced the gas, which was the first day that I had the surgery. That was harsh, but I experienced that as soon as I got, once I woke up from the anesthesia, I could feel, in my chest, I could feel the gas, right here. And by the time I came out of recovery, it basically had gone. I think it came back again when I first got my room the first day, but after the first day, I didn't experience any more gas here. My gas was gone after that. And, so she calls my husband to tell him I want to take it. She wants to go to the emergency room because I want to take it because he was at work. And so he's all upset, and he's like, if it's just gas, why she's going back. So instead of her just saying to him exactly what I said, but because she thought that it was something else, she didn't relay that information. So I go back, and she takes me there. She sits there with me a little bit before I had to go into her. I forget. I was in and out of it. I think she stayed, and then I think she left or came back or something or the other. But all I know is she became pretty fond of the nurses, and they became pretty fond of her. So she had a good time while she was there waiting for me to get. And they decided they were going to keep me because of the vomiting, because I had just left the ER 2 days ago and had just been delivered, discharged a few days prior to that. So they decided to keep me, and then I got to my room about maybe 11 something that night on the same floor, right down the hall from the room I was in when I first came and had my surgery. And then one of the nurses who had me my first, she was like, wait a minute. When I saw your name, I was like, they have to have there must be a mistake. We discharged her. And she's like, I seen them rolling you up here. And I was like, I know, I'm back. And I think I went to sleep after that. They had given me more pain medication. I went to sleep. The pain medication they were giving me in the hospital was Dilaudid. They were giving me that through IV. And for nausea, they were giving me the Zofran through IV. So I went to the hospital. That was on Saturday. From Saturday maybe until about maybe Monday, I pretty much was out of it. I wasn't talking on the phone. I think my phone might have actually died. And I wasn't talking. I couldn't talk. I was in pain. The pain actually was only because I was vomiting so bad that it was hurting me. Like, it was hurting me. My stomach was hurting. It hurt to touch. But as far as like my incisions hurting, that pain really would have subsided probably by Thursday or between Friday and Saturday once I took the pain medication. But because the pain medication created whatever it was doing to my stomach and my insides, that just didn't work for me. So then on top of that, then my menstrual came on. And I have a pretty bad menstrual, so that made it worse. So then I think, cause I got discharged on Wednesday, the 16th. So Monday, they wouldn't give me nothing. They said they would give me something, but they didn't. Then Tuesday, they, let me have something to eat. But the way it goes is they like to start you off on clear liquids, which is basically just like first water. They want you to have like water. Then they put you on full clear liquids, which would be then water, broth, Jello, yogurt, soy milk, that sort of thing. But I kept telling them, because I have all this medication pumped in my system, and because I don't do well on medication, period, I don't care what type of medication you give me, I really don't do well on pain medication. I was telling them, if you keep starting me on, because what happened on Monday was they started me with the liquids, just water, and I kept vomiting. And I said to the lady, I said, if you give me broth, like give me something with a little bit of substance, that's gonna help me. Well, on Tuesday, they did. They gave me breakfast, and my breakfast was broth, Jello, yogurt, and Crystal Light. And I couldn't make it to the Jello. I tasted it, but it was too sweet. I didn't like it, even though it was, sugar-free. It tastes sweet to me. I'm so sorry. So the broth, I wasn't able to, eat it all, but I took that, and, what else? The Crystal Light, they had gave me a cherry flavor that seemed too sweet to me, so I didn't drink that, but I drank my water. I had water all day, so I was sipping off that all day. And then, so here comes the thing, guys. Oh, this is one thing. Water, I used to drink it at any temperature because I love water. I could drink it at any temperature. Now I cannot. I can only drink my water cold. Like, it has to be cold. I can't drink it any other way. If it's not ice cold, or I don't have ice in it, I can't drink it. Crystal Light, right now I can't tolerate it. I feel like it upsets my stomach for some reason when I drink it with my water. So I don't necessarily have Crystal Light a lot. I don't actually, I stopped drinking it because that's how it makes me feel. So anyway, now it's Monday and they're running more tests and they're drawing me blood. And so I go down for this one test and they have to put this stuff in me. Oh, well, they made me drink this stuff and they gave me like 2 cups of it. And I'm like, why would they give me these cups to drink when I only can intake but so much? Well, what ended up happening was, was surprised because the first cup, I drank it down. I mean, I was going slow, but I drank it down with no problem. Then the second cup, the same thing. So for me, that was my first hint or indication like, wow, I think I'm better because I just drank this, because this is on Monday. I just drank this stuff with no problem. But because I had vomited Sunday night and then early Monday morning, like around 4 o'clock in the morning, they decided because you vomited, we're not going to give you fluids. We're going to just hold off. So I didn't have anything to eat or drink from Saturday until Tuesday. Nothing at all. Just I had the IV. They were giving me fluids that way. That was it. That's how I was staying hydrated. So I go down for this test and the guy's wheeling me down. I get the test. Then after the test, I drink the stuff. My sleeve is fine. There's no holes, no leaks. My surgery was perfect. It wasn't the surgery. That's what I want to be clear on. It wasn't the surgery. It was the medication. Just make sure that you remember any medications you have a low tolerance to, allergies to. It's important to remember that. I didn't. I forgot that one. Thank God my friend did, but remember those things. My sleeve was fine. There was no leaks. The only thing is that because of all the vomiting, my intestine that's connected to my stomach basically was just it was really relaxed. There was swelling and inflammation from me vomiting so much and having a new stomach. But my sleeve was fine. There was no leaking, no holes, no ruptures, no nothing. It was all good. So I'm laying on the gurney. I'm waiting for them to come and I'm waiting for them to basically come and get me, and so they can, take me back to my room. And I have to go to the bathroom. Like, I have to pee so bad. And I'm like, oh, I'm holding it. It's cold in this hallway. The blanket wasn't really big. And I'm like, I'm freezing. So I have to go to the bathroom. And the guy's taking forever. So the guy finally comes and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. He was like, well, I can't take you off because you got the IV and da-da-da-da. So I'm going to get you to your room really, really fast. He did. He moved really, really fast. And he got me to my room. He helped me to the bathroom. Once he got me in the bathroom, I went to the bathroom. I sat down, got the pee. I was like, oh, cool, bam. So I come out the bathroom and I had an IV in this arm. I had an IV in this hand. I had on a heart monitor. And that's because my blood pressure was really, really high. So I go to sit down on the bed, and this is going to FYI. This is about to be really explicit, guys. So I go to sit down on the bed and it's Monday. And I'm thinking, they've been asking me, have you passed gas? Have you had a bowel movement? They've been asking me this since the day I had the surgery. You passed gas? Bowel movement? No. Zip, zero, none. I'm like, no, haven't had any. So I'm going to go sit down on the bed and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I really don't have a clear feeling yet if it's a bowel movement, if it's a shart, or if it's a fart. Forgive me. I don't have that under control yet. It's kind of like after you have a baby. That's kind of like how I feel. So I go to sit down on the bed and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to pass gas. I can't wait to tell the nurse when she comes and asks me for the 50th time. And I get to tell her, yeah, I passed gas. It wasn't gas. I sharted all up my back, all across my bed. Like poo just shot everywhere. Had to change my bed, throw out the pillows, the whole nine. I was crying. I was in a room by myself. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm embarrassed. I didn't mean for this to happen. And, I have a newfound higher level of respect for nurses. My team of nurses at Abington, on 2L, they are the bomb.com. Like, I have a newfound respect for nurses, and They were like, it's okay. And I'm crying, embarrassed. So I'm like, I need to get in the shower. And I'm crying. And she's like, you can't get in the shower because your IVs. I'm like, I can't wash up at the zinc. Like, I can't do that. Like, I need water to be immersed on my body. Not to mention, guys, my menstrual is on. So they figure out a way. They tape and plastic and tape. They taped up the IVs and stuff, so I was able to get into the shower. So I get into the shower and I'm like, oh, I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed, like, oh my gosh. So now I get in the shower and it happens again all over the shower wall. And this time there's like, you know, some solid ones. And I'm like, I can't do this. This is scheming me out. I'm pulling on the nurse lever, the little red string in the shower. I'm like, She's like, what's wrong? I was like, I pooped in here too. I was like, it's scheming me out. I'm not going to be able to shower like this. So she was like, well, listen, we gonna have a problem. I can't get this pressing curl wet. That's what she said to me, the nurse. So I took the sprayer hose and took that water and I shooed the poo toward the edge of the shower. And listen, my nurses was all that. She took her hand in there with a glove on though, and she scooped that poo out and I was able to take my shower. So I felt really good. I felt really fresh. I was embarrassed. I was mortified. I just like, oh my gosh. But it was cool. And I was like, so then when it came again, I was like, I farted. I was like, I had a bowel movement. Because I hadn't had a bowel movement, I think maybe even might have been a day or two before my surgery. So it was almost going to be a week after my surgery that I hadn't had a bowel movement or passed gas. So I was pretty excited that I passed gas. I was hype. Yeah, so I was excited to finally pass gas and have a bowel movement, and I felt so good. I felt relieved. I felt real good. Yeah, felt real good. So then, that was kind of like it. I got freshened up, I got cleaned up, my bed and everything got made, and then I got my new garments on, and then I was able to chillax, and I felt so much better. My nausea was gone. And they were trying to give me pain medication and they were trying to give me nausea medication, but I was like, no, like I'm good. And I was good. And that had happened on Monday. So I was completely fine. And then that was it. So I'm going to end this video. And then in the next video, we're going to get into what happened after that. Thanks for tuning in.